Hello everyone, and welcome to Rosebank Farm and Garden. In today's video I bought some more clearance plants and I'd like to get them in the ground and share with you the steps I'm going to take to get these plants as healthy as they could be. I bought some cone flowers for $1, buddleia for $12, and I got 4 of the Proven Winners hydrangeas for $10 each, which was such a great price. I was able to get 1 Limelight hydrangea and 3 quickfires, and I'm really excited about these plants. So let's go take a look at them and get their stats. Here's a quick look at the clearance plants that I bought, minus the 3 cone flowers that I already have planted around my mailbox. But on the left, we have 3 quickfire hydrangeas, then we have the Limelight, look at those blooms, and the buddleia. All 4 of these hydrangeas are Panicle hydrangeas, also called PG hydrangeas, and they are the easiest to grow out of all the hydrangeas. Light requirements. Panicle hydrangeas are the most sun tolerant out of all the hydrangeas, and they like at least 4 to 6 hours of sunlight a day. Another great thing about these Panicle hydrangeas is they are not picky about the soil. They will do alkaline, acidic. The only thing they don't like is to be in sitting water for too long. What's that puppy doing? What's that puppy doing? The quickfire and the Limelight hydrangeas are very similar in their height and width. They're both 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. The Limelight is a little bit more heat tolerant. Their zones are 3 through 9, and the quickfire zones are 3 through 8. And I garden in a zone 6, so should be perfect. A good guide to make sure your plants survive the winter is to get a plant that is cold tolerant 1 zone below you. So for example, I garden in that zone 6. So if I get a plant that can tolerate a zone 5, it should survive my zone no problem. So I bought these clearance plants a couple of days ago, and one of the things I've been doing to get them off to a good start is I've been watering them 3 or 4 times a day. Because these hydrangeas are so big, I think each one is a statement on their own. I'm not going to plant them in a group. So I'll be planting them in different spots around the farm. So let's get ready to plant the first one, the Limelight. Here's the spot I've chosen for the Limelight, in between the stairs and the slide. And of course, I have to pick another spot with a lot of roots. So we'll see what we get into when I start to dig the hole. But I like this spot because there's an open area that could use a beautiful plant right there. I can just picture that full 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, just filled in right there. The other reason why I like this spot is it does get some morning sun and then shaded throughout the day, and then it gets really bright hot evening sun. And let me pan over here. I'm going to be trimming that out. I don't like it when trees are in the way when I'm on the riding mower, and that's a little bit too low, so we're going to trim that limb out of there, and that will also open up some more sun. Alright, and also just for a point of reference, this is my oval flower bed, and look, just a quick update, the caladiums are finally coming up, but the jury's still out whether caladiums are worth it. That little trim really opened up the canopy of the tree. It'll let light into the flower bed and where I want to plant the Limelight hydrangea. So we don't waste anything on the farm. This pile of maple leaves are like sugar to my goats. They will eat all the leaves and have a nice snack. So let's go feed these to the goats. So there are certain trees that you don't want to feed to livestock animals. For example, cherry for horses is really bad, especially wilted cherry. and oak leaves for goats, especially if the goats are milking. The tannic acid in the oak leaves will affect their milk production. But maple leaves probably taste like sugar to the goats. And these are fresh, so it's going to be a nice tasty treat for them. When the goats are done with all the leaves off this trimming, we'll take the sticks out and we'll use them in our chimea to make s'mores. There they are, munching away. Opens up that area where the limelight's going to go. That's going to be awesome. Get some light in there. Now that I have the tree canopy cleared up, it's time to dig the hole, and let's talk about planting of Panicle hydrangeas. You want to dig the hole as deep as the can and twice as wide, but we don't want to amend the soil for hydrangeas. It could create what's called the bathtub effect, where the soil that you amend lets the water drain through it really quickly, and then it hits the native soil and it puddles up and keeps the roots wet, which can cause all kinds of plant diseases. And then I'm going to put Biotone starter fertilizer in the hole and then directly onto the root ball. Here it's. I'm going to have to get creative. There are more roots in the way, which I kind of expected being so close to the maple tree. The top side up here, right up here, that's deep enough for the can. The bottom is too shallow. So I'm going to get some rock and I'm going to stack it up around this bottom side right here to raise the root level, and we're going to fill it in. So this will either work or it won't, and then if it doesn't and the plant doesn't thrive next year, I'll move it. But we're gonna, oh, see this? This is where the puppy chewed a hole in my Biotone. So I haven't had a chance to put it in a Ziploc bag or something else, but we're gonna add Biotone all the way around the hole. And next we're going to get the Limelight out of its can. It's nice and saturated. Look, that worked. All that, look at that, nice and wet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Biotone right onto the root ball. And it looks like it has some slow release fertilizer in there too, which is good. And then we're going to put it towards the back. In there. That's a good height. Let me sprinkle some more on here. All right, and then we're just going to backfill with the dirt, the native soil that we took out of the hole. Just like this. Maybe not the roots though. So I turned the largest rock so it is directly downhill. The way I had them at first, I was worried that runoff could go between this big one and this one, the way I had them switched. But this way, with the largest rock at the bottom of the hill, it should catch the runoff and hold the soil in place like this. Looks good. I added the mulch and got ahead of myself. One more thing I want to do is I want to add holly fertilizer. Now you can fertilize Panicle hydrangeas in March, May, and July, but you don't want to fertilize them after July. So, and the other thing about fertilizing is you want to go around the drip line. So the farthest out branch, that's your drip line, and that's where you want to add the fertilizer. So I'm going to go around the plant and just scratch a little bit of this Polytone into the soil and then replace the fertilizer. Sorry, replace the mulch. What did I say? Just look how this brightens up this spot. And I love it with the mulch. The mulch just finishes it off and makes it look so neat and tidy. All right, so the Limelight is done, and let's move on to the quick fires, and I'm going to make sure I pick a spot where there are no roots. The spot I've picked out for the quick fire hydrangea is in my front yard next to the road, and right over here is the path I put in last fall with my David Austin iceberg rose. And then this is a cedar, and I think that's a good spot. I think it's far enough away that it gives the quick fire room to mature to the 6 to 8 foot tall and wide. And even though we're in the shade right now, thank goodness, this spot gets afternoon and late afternoon scorching sun. So let's take an up close look at the quick fire. I was so happy that these were in clearance. Look at the dark stems. Look at that color, that red color on the stems. And then also look at the blooms. Look at that effect. Oh, so pretty, so different than my other hydrangeas. Now these open up, the quick fire opens up to this white, and then it'll fade to pink. And then in the fall, these will be dark red, so it's going to add a lot of beautiful fall interest. So I wanted to grab the tag real quick so you could see the fall color, and I only paid $10. Dug something interesting up out of that hole. Not sure what it is. Any ideas? Let me know. My husband probably knows what it was used for. Something like a tieback? I don't know. Pretty cool. Archaeological dig. I'm going to follow the same steps that we did to plant the Limelight hydrangea. We're going to add some biotone in the hole. We're going to add biotone directly to the root ball of the quick fire. Then we'll fill it in, and we're going to add the holly tone around the top, and then mulch. The next spot I've chosen for a quick fire is this place right behind the pizza oven. There's our chimenea there in the background, but I think this would be a good spot. Late afternoon sun. What I dug up this time out of this hole, it's a horseshoe. How about that? Archaeological dig number 2. This is the spot I want for the last quick fire hydrangea. It's right at the bottom of my driveway. There is a guide wire right there, and I have one Fleisch Point Nephofia planted at the bottom. I think I'm going to put the quick fire right about there, because it's 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. It will hide the guide wire from my side of the driveway as I'm leaving, and I think it'll be a good spot. Plenty of room there. Also, with this location, this hydrangea will be in full sun all day long. So it'll be interesting to see how the 3 quick fires do in their different locations. I just wanted to talk about the future care of these Panicle hydrangeas while I'm watering them in. I did not do any trimming. These kind of hydrangeas should be trimmed down in the spring, late winter, early spring. And I'll be trimming them down by 1/3 of their height. Fertilizing in March, May, and July, and we'll see how they do. They're really not in that bad of shape for clearance plants. I've had worse, so I'm really hopeful that these will take off in this spot and do good for the rest of the year, and then next year they should really be spectacular. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and interesting, and how you could save some money on some brand name clearance plants and give them a good start for next year. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to Rosebank Farm, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.